Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we are going to talk about Sony's decision to do live service games and what I think is going to happen with that. So, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is not a Sony bashing video for everybody. This is kind of what I see going on now and how I feel about it. The live service thing. And these are my honest thoughts. These are my honest feelings about it and why I think this could be... I don't think this is going to be as big as Gamepass, but this is going to have a potential to really keep Sony in the game. If this goes the way I think it could possibly go, this is big for Sony. This is big. So, first of all, let's talk about this Dying Light 2 for just a minute. Wow. I'm really liking this game. I stayed up pretty late playing it last night. I'm liking this. I ended up switching it over to the 4K, the resolution mode, and I was playing with that. And I found a way to fix it. Turn off VRR. If you have a TV with VRR, turn off VRR, and it's smooth like it is on the Xbox Series S on a 4K TV. A lot smoother, a lot better. I'm not getting all the stuttering that was making me sick, so that's a plus. So now let's get on to this news. Now that I've had a few days to digest this, think about it, and really come to grips with what I think Sony is trying to do. This could be big for PlayStation. Literally, it could be big. You look at games like Genshin Impact. You look at games like Fortnite. You look at games like, Destiny. You look at these live service games that rake in money hand over fist. People out there want to buy this stuff. They want to play these games. They want to play them with their friends. And the biggest thing is the low cost of entry to these games. And that's the same thing it is with Game Pass. Low cost of entry, you get to play more games. That is big. If Sony brings the quality that they exhibit in all their other games to free-to-play live service games, yeah, as long as they catch on, that would be good for even Sony fans. I'm not talking like another Genshin Impact or anything like that. I'm talking like Horizon Forbidden West live service, God of War live service, Gran Turismo live service, Days Gone live service. Some of these master hits, Uncharted live service. Some of these games that they brought out, if they could find a way to keep the single player experience alive in these live service games and not make it feel tacked on, Sony might have a plan. They could possibly do something with that, because me personally, a lot of us gamers love, those Sony experiences. We call them one and done. Yeah, we do. We call them one and done. Whatever. We play through them, and they're so amazing that we're just like, okay, I don't really need to play through that again. That's a whole lot of playing through it again. But after a few years, I've noticed that going back and playing through Uncharted 4 again, it has staying value. It really does. I'm playing through it, and I'm like, ooh, this is great. And then Dying Light 2 came out, and I was like, oh man, I got to play Dying Light 2. But that's the thing, man. If they can bring these experiences and find a way to make them, to expand on the single player form, adding new content and stuff like that, it would probably be better. If they did kind of a split though, some of them are multiplayer experiences, some of these are single player experiences. Imagine Horizon Zero Dawn launching, and then Sony being like, yeah, $70 out the gate. You're like, all right, whatever. But then they're like, but it's live service. And say Horizon Zero Dawn is great, but they keep adding more to the map. They keep adding more to, to the game, more story content, more side quests, more stuff that, like Destiny, you buy another chunk of, you get your initial purchase, 40, 50 hours worth of play, and then 6 months down the road, you get another chunk of game that gives you more world and stuff like that. single players, single player open world games, like Assassin's Creed, in my opinion, is probably the most successful at keeping me in the game thus far. But those only last a couple of years at the latest. They'll support them for a couple of years. Sony could definitely do that with like a game like Horizon Forbidden West, something that they bring a story to, and they're like, oh man, like God of War, the first God of War would have been perfect for this. If they would have brought out, like a couple more bosses or a couple more gods, a couple more areas for you to explore, and kept tacking that on to the original experience, and charging you like $40, $30, whatever. I mean, because let's face it, most people are going to pay that, whatever it is, and get that content or whatever. I would say, if they bring out, like, I mean, gosh, dude, I paid for the 6-hour DLC of Ghost of Tsushima. You know what I mean? Like, if they were to continue to expand on these games as live service and bring more content to them, and if the player engagement was pretty high with them, that would be good. Like, Sony possibly could turn free to play into quality free to play. You know what I mean? Like, that would be amazing. Like, I would definitely be on board with that. If they were able to find, I mean, like, Gran Turismo 7 will probably be the best first live service to come. I mean, like, Gran Turismo Sport was supported pretty long, and that was pretty good. But if they do the same thing with Gran Turismo 7 and they support it and they bring new raceways, they bring new content, pretty often to that game, like they were doing with Gran Turismo Sport, and like charging money for it and stuff, like adding certain cars and stuff. Like, Sony has to do this they have to do this. They have to find a way to increase revenue stream. If you think that, it's like, oh yeah, man, well, everybody's on the PlayStation playing Fortnite or Destiny or some of these live service games, they're not buying the Sony first party, like super bangers. Because if you look at the sales, data from the last quarter from PlayStation, dude, they were down 8.8%. What changed in that year over date was we got a new PlayStation and like new expensive games and $70 games, and let's face it, a lot of people aren't buying these. Spider-Man, yeah, people, highest selling one was $50. All the $70 games, man, people aren't buying them as fast because that $70, I'm telling you right now, the $70, it doesn't matter who you are in the industry, and I've been saying this since day one, since I started this channel, it doesn't matter. That extra $10, while it's not that much, like $10 is really not that big, it makes the overall package, instead of it being $65, now it's $75. And you look at that and you're like, oh my gosh, that's almost $100. And a lot of parents are like, ooh, gosh, $75 for a game? Like, I don't know about that. It's not that it costs a lot of money for the content and everything that you get. It's the way it feels. It's like, oh my gosh, man. Like, seriously, it's just like going to the gas station and seeing $2.50 gallon, and the next day it's $3.50. You're like, ooh, dang, man, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And that's only $1. It's only a freaking $1. That's not. It has nothing to do with the cost. If you're used to paying something for so long, and then all of a sudden the cost is more and it's forced, and it's like, ooh, gosh, man, like that really sucks. Like, I'm not seeing a major change in quality. Like, what am I getting? I mean, like, I'm seeing, games that just look a little better than they did last year. I mean, they if you compare a Sony first party game now to a Sony first party game on the PS4 Pro, you're like, maybe. I mean, like, it runs at 60 frames a second. You get DualSense. Like, it just gives you, I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to explain this, but that impending doom of like paying $10 more, or not impending doom, but just the way it sits on your subconscious, it's just like, oh man, Microsoft isn't doing this, Nintendo isn't doing this, only Sony wants more money. And when you look at all the games that have come out since then, it's the Activisions, it's the EAs, it's the Take-Twos, it's all of the greedier companies on the freaking that are out there trying to rake in money hand over fist for their shareholders. These guys are the ones that are upping their price. And games like Ubisoft and everywhere else, they're like, no, we'll just keep them at $60. Like, it is what it is. The industry is basically at a split right now, telling Sony, all right, man, if you want to raise your games to $70, whatever, but we don't feel confident in doing that We know that, like Ubisoft sitting over there being like, dude, our games are usually half price. Like a couple months later, like, why would we do that to ourselves? You know what I mean? Like a lot of the other companies out there are smart. They're like, yeah, I don't know if this is the right time. And Sony's like, yeah, don't worry about it. My buddy Activision right here said, oh yeah, Activision. What happened to them? You see what I mean? Like Activision fell and stumbled. Nobody wants to pay $70 for first-person shooters anymore. Like that's the crossroads that PlayStation's at. But if they can pull off like quality free to play or even paid for content, like I don't care. I mean, I'll pay for it, whatever. But if they can pull that off and bring the same quality dynamics to free to play or live service games that they already have in the market and that they're known for, oh man, get ready to play a lot of Sony games for a long time, because that could be good for our industry. Like it really could. You got Microsoft over here offering you Game Pass. You got PlayStation over here like, man, we literally can't afford to possibly do a Game Pass thing like that. It would hurt way too much in the beginning, but it would sustain itself over the long run. Maybe their free to play thing is the answer. Maybe their live service games are the answer to helping Sony stay in this fight. As long as they can deliver that quality that people are known that Sony's known for in free to play or live service games, they can do it. They can pull this off. I still firmly believe that if anybody can make PS or VR really take off and really go mainstream, I believe it's Sony. But if they stumble out of the gate with a $400 price tag for this PSVR, it's going to take way too long for people to attach to. $200, you know, you have to plug it into your PlayStation 5, whatever. I mean, if they came out with a wireless one that you could like play outside and stuff like that, like, yeah, $400 wouldn't seem like a bad deal. But having to be tethered directly to the PlayStation and not being able to use that headset on your PC or anything else, like that's gonna hurt PlayStation if they overcharge for this. Now, I've always loved PlayStation. Just, you know, being this channel over the years has like over the last year has kind of helped me, you know, go more toward the Xbox side. And dude, I blame a lot of you fanboys for that, man. You guys are so angry and so ignorant, but dude, I do love PlayStation. I love Xbox. I think they're both doing great. I think gamers right now are happier than they ever have been. You know, maybe not the PlayStation guys because they're paying $70 for these games and stuff, but man, Sony's got to make money too. They can't just hand you everything. You know, like you guys say, you just can't give everything for free, and you can't expect everything for free. And I don't get what you guys are. I mean, like seriously, I don't even think half of the fanboys buy this stuff, dude. They just get on Twitter, on my YouTube channel comments and freak out about it. And it's like, have you guys probably don't even buy this stuff, man. So like, what does it matter if you don't buy every single Sony first party title right when it comes out day one for full price and you don't trade it in? Can you really call yourself a fanboy? Can you? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just asking. Can you really be a full blown fanboy? No, man. If you don't play and love everything, you know. I mean, I guess you don't have to love everything to be a fanboy, but it would help. It would help your cause because you guys not buying the games really makes it so Sony has to think outside the box, and now you're going to get free to play mid trash, like you guys always complain about. And this is good for. In a way, I think this is good for the industry. In a way, I kind of think that this over monetization of games that we love and want to play could be a bad thing. I mean, you look at like the games on the phone market they are getting better. They definitely are getting better. I mean, like they're PS Vita quality or whatever, you know, they're starting to get better depending on your phone. So I don't know, man. Maybe the whole industry goes mobile. I mean, that's where all the money is. That's where mobile is bigger than console and PC combined. That's where the money is, man. That's where the 2 to 3 billion people a year are sitting on their phone buying more tokens for a Candy Crush or a gambling game or something like that. That's where the freaking money is. They don't make a lot of money in these high production, high console, you know, sales. They don't. And everything that they do make on them goes to those greedy shareholders that are like, no, we want more money. We want mobile money. We want mobile money. And dude, gamers are cheap, man. A lot of us, you know, like I buy my games day one. I like to play them. I like to review them for you guys. I like to have fun with them. But there's a lot of gamers out there, man, that are cheap, dude, that don't want to buy these games day one. They wait for them to go on sale. And with Game Pass, giving you games for $15 a month, and then those games come into the Game Pass a lot later. I think there was, what was it, like 50 something games that I've bought in full price have come to Game Pass over the last, you know, couple of years. Eventually they come, man. That's a lot of games that have come to Game Pass that I could have just waited and played when they got on Game Pass, and they still would have been new. So that's the thing, man. That's all I'm saying. I do think that if Sony really does a good job, they could probably make live service games really good and really keep people playing them. So that's something to look out for. If everybody's playing live service games and they're not playing everything else, like, yeah, dude, that's a good and a bad thing for the industry, because let's face it, man, you're going to spend a lot more money on games than you ever have before. So as far as I'm concerned, PlayStation is still kind of in this fight, but we won't really know until their first live service game drops and just how the monetization is going to work in that. I mean, we see what's going on with Halo Infinite right now. Obviously it's successful. It's starting to make Microsoft some money, man. They're doing good with, you know, the Halo thing. If they can continue to support it and grow that game and make Halo Infinite better, yeah, definitely support it. If you love playing it, support it. That's all I can say, man. If you guys love playing your games, support them when you have the time or when you have the money. Do what you got to do to continue to reward that good behavior so that you can continue to get that quality of service. You know what I mean? If you don't reward it, then you're going to... And that's one thing with live service games, man. You get on there and you play them, and if everybody else quits playing them and you're still playing them and you're still enjoying it, man, that's a double-edged sword, man. Like, they got to make it good for a lot of people to make it profitable and to continue to produce content, man. You see what happened to Hyperscape, that thing that lasted almost a year or two, you know, and it was dead. So I wish these developers, like at Ubisoft and stuff, if they're really going to get into live service, sit down, make a quality project, and make sure you have a solid plan of how you're going to take that, and just quit throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Because, yeah, I mean, that's going to be tragic if the gaming industry keeps doing that, because that's a lot of time wasted for gamers to jump into these experiences and then find out 2 years after it comes out that, oh man, it's dead. Because that sucks. I would hate to be that guy, you know, that falls in love with that game and everybody else hates it, so they kill it. Like, I would hate to be that guy. So live service is definitely something that's going to be around. And as long as games like Fortnite are successful and Destiny and all these other games or Apex Legends are successful, there's going to be a greater push to get into those types of games from all companies. So pray that your favorite one gets popular and stays popular, and you can continue to enjoy that experience long term. But like I said, double-edged sword. Hopefully Sony can pull it off and deliver the same quality that they're known for in the industry, and I think that would be great. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.